Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriki and Today FM rocks here in Tavwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Usur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, China refutes claims of influence in the Pacific. PM says social wages given by the government, not handouts. A Norwegian prince praises Fiji's leadership.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Chinese embassy in Fiji has refuted claims and media reports of China's increasing influence in Fiji and other South Pacific island countries. Ambassador Jian Bo says he will term China's presence in the region relationship. China has been funding a number of development projects in various small island countries, following which questions and concerns are being raised about the country's growing presence in the region. Anna Ravulo reports.
The Chinese ambassador today giving rest to increasing rumors about their presence in Fiji and the Pacific.
If you talk about the influence, I would rather say the relationship between China and the South Pacific countries are improving and strengthening.
But revealed that the South Pacific is not the only place where they have friends.
The Chinese government does not label this as an influence, but more of a friendship.
China's relationship with Australia, New Zealand and the United States. Our relations with those countries are all improving and strengthening. I'm referring to the people-to-people exchanges and the trade and the investment.
However, Bo was disturbed of how some Chinese nationals were being blamed for some crime in Fiji, particularly the alleged abduction of a 13-year-old boy in Lautoka last month.
There are some rumors about the kidnapping issues. We were very much disturbed. So Chinese people are very peaceful and nice people. They don't get into a fight, to rob people.
Bo reiterates that China is Fiji's and the South Pacific's friend in all weather conditions and there is no Chinese influence at all. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama has hit out at the opposition for always labelling the social wages given by the government handouts. While opening the Government Expo in Keasi, Singatoka today, Bainimarama stressed they will continue to assist Fijians by providing basic fundamental needs. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Not mincing his words, the Prime Minister reassured Fijians that government will always be ready to assist them.
Assistance is granted to all Fijians who need it. No one group is favored above another. If you need my help, my government is there for you, and there is no fuss about it.
Bainimarama says they will also continue to focus on the development being undertaken over the next years.
The opposition likes to call these social wages handouts, but that's not the case. We are giving our fellow Fijians a leg up so that they can unleash their full economic potential.
The Prime Minister also told villagers to take advantage of the expo.
Over the next 2 days, a whole range of services will be available at your doorsteps, services that are taken for granted in our major urban areas.
Villagers from around Keasi gathered in numbers to benefit from the government services brought closer to them. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Fiji's leadership in ensuring the voices of small and vulnerable nations are heard on the global stage has been hailed by the visiting Crown Prince of Norway. Fiji and Norway share mutual interest in ocean preservation and climate action. Speaking at a reception in Suva last night, Prince Magnus said they are proud of Fiji's achievements. Kelly Vavala reports.
Fijians and Norwegians share a deep concern for the future of the planet.
Fiji's leadership has been crucial for ensuring progress in the implementation of the Paris Agreement. We have been proud to work with Fiji to promote climate action, and now we are proud to be cooperating with you on ensuring sustainable management of our oceans.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama says both nations are faced with a mutual sense of urgency to address climate change.
And while the whole world stands to suffer from a changing climate, the impact afflicting our nation is already proving to be outsized. Warming is accelerating at a particularly alarming pace in Scandinavia, and stronger tropical cyclones have ravaged Fiji in recent years.
Fiji and Norway have been working together for almost 50 years in the United Nations, and the collaboration between the two countries include taking part in the Law of Sea negotiations and peacekeeping operations in Lebanon, Sudan and Sinai. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the Crown Prince and his delegation enjoyed cultural performances at the University of the South Pacific today. Speaking to students, Prince Magnus revealed that collaboration between USP and the University of Bergen in Norway continues to grow. Questions were also raised from students if more scholarships will be provided.
We know that many Norwegian students have spent up to a year here on campus as exchange students, and researchers from both universities in the fields of marine studies, climate science and Pacific studies.
I visited the researchers in the University of Bergen just before I came here, and they had the same question. So the easy answer is yes. Of course we should have more cooperation and exchange programs with students.
We now join Kelly, who has been closely following this visit. Kelly, what has been the purpose of the Crown Prince's visit, and what can we expect in the future from this new relationship?
This is the first ever visit of the Crown Prince to the Pacific Islands, which includes Fiji, Samoa and Tonga. So the visit is expected to advance Fiji and Norway's bilateral interest and also explore cooperation on issues relating to sustainable development. Late this afternoon, the Prince took part in a canoe sailing activity, and then he also attended a wreath-laying ceremony in Veuto. He met with Daku villagers in Tailevu. Jackie, as we know, Daku has been affected by the rising sea levels, and the Prince was able to see firsthand the devastation. Jackie.
A petition is being put together by parents and guardians of students at Vatuvonu Adventist College in Takanrove to request for government's assistance in reopening the school. The school management have made a decision to close the school at the end of Term 1. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports parents are in despair over the SDA Church's decision.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church's decision to close down Vatuvonu Adventist College has not gone down well with parents at the school.
Now that this has happened, it is heartbreaking. Those who are closing down the school won't feel it. We worked hard for this school. They're closing it and it's telling us to go and find a school elsewhere. This is just too much for us.
FBC News understands there was controversy over the recent appointment of a non-Adventist school head. The Parents and Teachers Association feels having staff from different denominations has not had a negative impact on their children's education.
The academic achievements of our children have greatly improved with the current staff, all of whom are non-Adventists. They didn't bring in other religious teachings but followed the school's beliefs.
The parents and teachers are now turning to government for help through a petition. Sending their children elsewhere will be a huge burden.
We've told the church we don't accept it. If you want to close the school, you have to vacate from the land. That's the stand we're taking now, because we will want to open the school as a community school, run by the committee and the government.
Vatuvonu Adventist College serves villages along the Natewa coast. About 80% of the students are non-Adventist. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
Still to come, telecommunications experts meet in Singatoka. And Suva lawyer facing theft charges further remanded. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambando ay nasere.
Hoya uvasit sai lambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong nambula FM nambando ay nasere.
Gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na warong nambula FM, nambando ay nasere.
Wana tunga nambula FM, nambando ay nasere namalwan.
Na vengo fani na tao.
The Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission has clarified that the international human rights law does not necessarily recognize same-sex marriage as a right. Director Ashwin Raj made the comments after an outrage ensued on social media following Prime Minister Vurengeng Bainimarama's statement that Fiji will not allow same-sex marriage. Raj says the jurisprudence emerging out of the European Court of Human Rights instructs that same-sex marriages are not necessary to deliver equality on the grounds of sex and gender, as long as the marital status does not carry with it legal rights which are not available to unmarried couples. He says for Fiji, more clarity is needed on what the Constitution states on this issue.
The inclusion of sex, gender, sexual orientation and gender identity under Section 26, subsection 3 of the Fijian Constitution is an important legal safeguard, even if Fiji decides not to legalize same-sex marriage. Furthermore, there is no clarity on whether the term expression under Section 26(3) of the Constitution includes marriage, and therefore there is a need to develop jurisprudence in this area.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama has received international recognition for his commitment and leadership in the global campaign for climate action. New Delhi-based the Energy and Resources Institute Director General Dr. Ajay Mathur is in the country and personally presented the Sustainable Development Leadership Award to the Prime Minister. Savara Tambor reports.
While receiving the award, the Prime Minister reaffirmed Fiji's commitment towards climate change global action.
When it comes to impacting the world, it is not the size of your country that matters, but the size of your voice. And that for a country like ours, with a population of less than 1 million, to be recognized by TERI, based in your nation, for over 1.3 billion population, is proof that Fiji's voice is being heard far and wide.
Bainimarama says the award will serve as a constant reminder of the ambitious work undertaken by the Institute. Institute Director General Dr. Ajay Mathur praised Fiji's Talanoa dialogue concept, where countries freely told their stories relating to climate change.
Some of the things that all of us are very proud of in the community is your promise that at least 10% of the electricity in Fiji would come from the new renewable sources. And this is in addition to the hydroelectricity, which is already zero carbon.
Other global leaders who have won similar award includes Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, and United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Local municipal elections will only be held after reforms are undertaken. Minister responsible, Pramila Kumar, says the 1972 Local Government Act is outdated and will need to be reviewed along with public consultations before elections of local councils are even considered. Maggie Boyle reports.
Under the current law, local council elections cannot be held.
You cannot actually conduct election under the Local Government Act 1972. Impossible. We can't. It has to match with the electoral system that we are having now, with single boundary.
For the previous minister responsible, he says some of the groundwork has already been done.
Committee is in place. There has been some discussion on the associated legislation as well, and the work is going on.
Under the suggested reforms, ratepayers will decide on the makeup of their councils.
That the councillors can be either elected, it can be a mixed system, or they can be appointed. And when we are reviewing the Local Government Act, that decision will be made by the public.
The matter was clarified in Parliament as part of a contribution to the Public Account Committee's review report on the 2014 audit of municipal councils. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Key players in the telecommunications sector have gathered in Singatoka for the 23rd Pacific Islands Telecommunications Association Conference. It's an important conference for the Pacific Island countries as they are able to share their experiences with bigger nations. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Sharing ideas of how to better improve their telecommunications services would be one of the main focuses for these participants.
In this case, most of what operators do is they share their experiences with each other, they learn from each other. Obviously things you do right, others can learn from you, and things that you've done wrong, of course, those are mistakes not to be repeated by someone else, and then they can benefit quite significantly from that.
The three-day conference, which started yesterday, also has reps from New Zealand, China, UK and France, who have vast majority in the telecommunications sector. Fiji was also identified as one of the Pacific Island countries that has excelled in this sector.
Fiji is one of the more advanced countries in the Pacific, while others are lagging even more behind. On an average, mobile broadband access through the mobile is only 18%, which is very low. On a global average, 50% of the world's population is accessing internet through a mobile device.
This is also the first time that Fiji is hosting the PETA conference with more than 400 participants. Philippe Naikaso, FBC News.
Prominent civil lawyer Shazran Abdul Latif, facing theft charges, has been further remanded by the Suva Magistrates Court. Along with theft charges, Latif has two other drug-related matters pending before court. Pranita Prakash was in court and filed this report.
The police prosecution again objected the bail application for Suva lawyer Shazran Abdul Latif. According to prosecution, the case is of public interest and there is a likelihood that Latif may interfere with the prosecution witness. However, the defense claims that police abused the processes of the court. In a lengthy submission today, Latif's counsel stated the new charge against his client arises from the raid carried out at his residence on March 23rd. It is alleged that during that raid, Latif was found in possession of 1.2 grams of marijuana. Latif's lawyer said the mobile phones and the tablets were discovered by police during that same raid. However, no charges were laid until a week later. The defense counsel said police had the opportunity to charge Latif during that time, but they decided to split the investigation and lay separate charges. Latif has pleaded not guilty to the 2 counts of theft. The matter has been adjourned to Friday for bail ruling. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Coming up in sports later with Jamie, Norwegian Crown Prince gets a feel of Fijian-style rugby, but first, Rachel is here with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break, TFL launches South Pacific's first fibre broadband. And in Growing Fiji, work on Unduya Point apartment progresses. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Koroko, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, Telecom Fiji has successfully deployed its 10G optical fibre network, the first of its kind in the South Pacific. This technology provides faster download speed, higher reliability and lower latency that covers all home broadband and enterprise leased lines. TFL says the new connections will allow customers to enjoy 4K video, smart home and high-speed enterprise interconnections. They have partnered with Huawei to be able to provide this service.
More importantly, it's bringing us up to speed with our closer markets in Australia and New Zealand, and bringing the best of the developed world into Fiji.
Only commercially sold meat needs certification. This is according to Agriculture Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy, who has clarified that animals slaughtered for domestic use is exempt from this regulation. Dr. Reddy says this is crucial to ensure that quality meat is being sold in our supermarkets and businesses.
Not for domestic, where people want to consume a chicken or a duck or goat. So it's totally misreporting. So it's whenever, which is happening now, any meat that is sold commercially from the outlets, that is certified, and that's the way it should be.
Fiji Airways has leased a Boeing 737-800 aircraft from Miami Air to cover some of its scheduled flights due to the temporary grounding of its 2 Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft. The chartered aircraft will operate some flights on behalf of Fiji Airways between Nadi and Auckland, Apia, Christchurch and Brisbane. It will operate with its own cabin crew and pilot, with Fiji Airways senior flight attendant on board to oversee the cabin experience. The airline is a chartered company based out of Miami in the United States and has leased aircraft to British Airways, Air France and TUI, among others. And Sanifa from HFC Bank joins us now with more from the money market.
The US dollar index against a basket of 6 major currencies stood little changed after losing 0.35% the previous day, marking its biggest daily decline since March 20th. In addition to pressure from commodity-linked currencies, the US dollar was weighed by data showing US durable goods orders declined in February. The euro bounced as investors squared positions ahead of an upcoming European Central Bank meeting. Meanwhile, Britain is due to leave the European Union on Friday, but May is seeking a compromise with the Labour Party regarding terms for Brexit ahead of European Union Leaders Summit tomorrow. February month housing finance data for Australia will be in the immediate focus of the Aussie traders, while developments surrounding commodity basket and the US data could entertain markets afterward. That's all from HFC Bank for now. Binaka.
Thanks, Anifa. On to today's exchange rates, as it was set this morning. A better day for the Fiji dollar in comparison to yesterday. The Chinese yuan, US greenback, Kiwi dollar and the PNG kina did well, however seeing some slight declines across the other currencies we cover. Looking at the commodities, the market has been really good, with crude oil prices on the rise at over $64 per barrel. Gold was also up about $3 to $1,299 per ounce, and silver gained a few cents at $15.23 per ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the new waterfront Unduya Point apartment in Lami will be completed in October. Pacific Building Solutions says they are building the apartment in a joint venture with Hari Punjers and Sons Limited. The construction began in May 2018 and is currently on its third phase. The $21 million building consists of 26 apartment blocks. And that's it from the business desk for tonight. Jamie's up next with sports.
Thank you and good evening in sports tonight. ACS focused on Coca-Cola Games defense. And brothers Tuisova and Nakosi to team up for Barbarians. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Fiji Airways Sevens arrived into Singapore last night with recovery top of the agenda. Coach Gareth Baber says it's always a challenge to recover well after a big tournament, and it's no different following last weekend's victory in Hong Kong. Meanwhile, the team was scheduled to make its first public appearance in Singapore earlier today.
We did our recovery sessions in the pool, got them eating correctly, hydrating correctly, and obviously the process of recovery starts as soon as you finish the game on Sunday night. So it's a tough ask, obviously, from getting to such a high of winning a tournament in like Hong Kong, getting the boys to bed, because sleep is the biggest method of recovery. And we got up this morning. The boys will go and do an appearance this morning for Fiji Airways, which is one of the hospitals here, Women's Hospital and Children's Hospital.
3 former Singapore Sevens champions will go head-to-head in Pool A of the tournament this weekend. Defending champion Fiji will meet 2004 winner South Africa, 2017 winner Canada, and 2004 bowl winner Scotland in its last pool match. Going into the tournament as favourites, Fiji will have to dig deep to follow up its performance from Hong Kong against another strong pool. A win for Fiji will not only close the 7-point gap on World Series leader USA, but also take them closer to cementing an Olympic spot. Crown Prince of Norway, Håkon Magnus, got a feel of Fijian rugby this morning. While the sport is not very popular in Norway, Prince Magnus chose to put on his favourite rugby jersey, a Fiji Sevens one of course, and had a run with the Vodafone Fiji Under-20 side preparing for the Oceanian Championship. The Crown Prince even displaying some of his skills. He also took time to congratulate the Fiji Airways Sevens side for the victory in Hong Kong on Sunday.
All you Fijians on the big win 2 days ago in the Hong Kong tournament, right? Well done. And I guess good luck in the Olympics as well, which is coming up, I think, in September, right?
And the Lakambao School is confident its preparations for the Coca-Cola Games next week will reap the results they are aiming for. Vice Principal Liliana Tawake says while they are the girls' defending champions, they won't be taking any other school lightly. Meli Tavanga reports.
ACS will be fielding 37 athletes for the track and 17 athletes for the field events.
Yes, we're confident. It doesn't come with pride. We're not, we do not have pride, but let me just assure you, we would like to achieve our mission, and I aim for the accomplish that. And at this point, we're really looking forward to get back the trophy to ACS.
The girls from Sawani are preparing diligently and are aware of the threats from other schools.
Take for granted any school in Fiji, even from the far end of the nation, from Laos, from Vanuatu, from their Sawas and so forth. They always probably, as you mentioned, a threat, and as I said, it's always we don't want to take advantage. We don't want to lay back and have rest on our laurel. We'll always train because anyone can take any goal at any time, at any events.
Meanwhile, Serenia Rangatu and Jesse Vakalolamo will be carrying ACS hope in the blue ribbon race at the Fiji finals next week at Suvas ANZ Stadium. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
A World Rugby Standard and FIFA-compliant field is nearing completion in Pacific Harbour. The Uprising Sports Centre is a first-of-its-kind facility in the Pacific and will include a world-class drainage system that makes the field available for play 24/7. Koroi Tandolala with the details.
This multi-million-dollar sports centre is expected to capitalize on the trade relationship between Fiji and New Zealand.
It's a billion-dollar two-way trading relationship between Fiji and New Zealand, and this is a really good example of new value and new technology that gets added to and hopefully expands that trading relationship even further.
Uprising resort owner Renee Manch says the facility will greatly help the development of sports in the local community.
So with this field, we can use it more than 100 hours a week without any damage whatsoever. So we can have a sevens tournament 10 days long, and the next morning our sevens team can walk onto that pitch and it's perfect. And so we wanted to support them in that way, but also have the development for youth and sport here.
The multi-purpose sports facility is designed to not only attract local tournaments, but will also give Fiji a chance to host international events, a step which will augur well for the country's sports tourism. Koroi Tandolala, FBC Sports.
Brothers Joshua Tuisova and Filippo Nakosi have accepted invitations to play for the Barbarians in the Quilter Cup in June. In today's play of the day, former Fiji Sevens rep Apisai Nangaliva finding his way through a tight Racing 92 defense to score for Clermont and allowing for a 31-all draw against Racing. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather and in the world of the weird and the wonderful. Take a look at the paragliding K9. That's coming up.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
In your media tonight, cutting ties with Facebook is harder than you think. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's been a marvelous day and it was quite cool. The sun didn't have much of a show today. Now taking a look in the west, the sun was mild. Hope you're enjoying the sea without the tension of sunscreen. Eastwards, Rampak Havarasuva, quite cool with very light sunny spells and on and off showers. And up north, quite comfortable, but there is more indication of showers. At sea, easterly winds 10 to 50 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 9:39 p.m. with low tide at 3:36 a.m. Sunrise at 6:14. For tomorrow, another semi-sunny day can be expected. Coolness in some parts of Fiji. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will hit 32 degrees, quite a warm day expected for the northerners. And looking further on to Thursday, showers will dominate from here. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, do you think there should be a national celebration to honour the Fiji 7 side for the 5th consecutive Hong Kong win?
Oh yes, I think we deserve it because it's been a long time. We've been waiting for that holiday. We need a celebration too.
I think we have to celebrate it because they give their hard work to scoop the 5 years in a row.
To have a celebration and because of their hard work.
Yes, we should have a public holiday to celebrate the hard work that the boys did.
No. In my view, it's just better to give some fun for some other peoples.
Because they win 5 in a row. That means all over the world, all over the atmosphere, they are the best.
It's so exciting that Fiji has won the Hong Kong Sevens 5 years in a row. And yes, we should definitely have a national celebration.
I think instead of holding a celebration, the government should just give them money.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, China refutes claims of influence in the Pacific. PM says social wages given by the government, not handouts. And Norwegian prince praises Fiji's leadership. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, do you think the Hong Kong momentum will carry through to victory in Singapore? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Ashnita Kumar. The picture was taken at Work Resort in Singatoka. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, neva ngomal kay leloma, ngongai nakas on tumakarong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, ya on talitay na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Buya do tumeli, ako na tao no hingatoka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Wana tuma ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere nawaluan.
Na vengo fane na tao nyo Singatoka, kita on talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.